I was live on the wrong stream. I clicked on the wrong stream on StreamYard. I'm very, very sorry. But Manchester City 2, West Ham 2, champions-elect, 13 points clear, 20 games won on the bounce. Absolutely phenomenal. And as I was saying on the other stream, this Man City team are in the midst of one of the greatest turnarounds and comebacks in Premier League history. It was only 3 or so months ago. They were sitting 11th in the table. The team had no zip, no togetherness. They looked done at the elite level under Pep Guardiola. And everybody that wrote them off was correct in doing that with the way they were playing and how things were looking. But wow, the way they've turned things round is absolutely impeccable. It's just spellbinding. It is spellbinding. They're on course to get, they could break the Centurions record, I believe. I need to go and get that. I just heard someone say it. I need to go get that checked. They're on course for a quadruple, which they could do. They're on course for another domestic treble. They're going to win, in my opinion, at least 2 trophies. They will beat Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. I'm certain of that. They're going to win the league. That's even bigger certainty. It's phenomenal. And I'm one of these people that will always hold my hands up when I'm wrong about something, and completely and utterly wrong. 20 straight wins on the bounce. I was wrong about City. They absolutely killed it, destroyed it. Absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. A big shout out here to Winter Surfer, who was the winner of the mystery shirt. That's already been sent out. That's been posted. That's going to be with you. It takes up to 14 days with the way that they deliver it, but it's been ordered and done in the size you've ordered. And we've done all that. Yes. So you were the first winner. We are running that competition again today. Here's the envelope, which I'm going to seal live on the air in front of you all. So for the next week, this competition is running again. This time it's to win a grand prize, of £100 of Amazon vouchers, Amazon Prime vouchers supplied to you. So £100 essentially in cash that you can spend with Amazon. They pretty much sell anything you need in the whole world. To each day, we're going to do streams. We've got the mystery words. Today, we've got my pick for man of the match. We have a phrase that is used to describe, it's a tactical phrase used across football Twitter, and also a name used to describe a leading Premier League manager. You have to sometimes think about games we're watching, who we're talking about to guess these items. If you guess the mystery words, if you're first to guess with a super chat, minimum donation of £2 to enter, you will go into the prize draw to win the £100 Amazon vouchers, which will be done on Friday. Next week, Friday, that will be launched. So get your super chats in right about now. Make sure you're all smashing that like button for the Football Terrace as well. We've got some more super chats to do here. The first one from Centurion says, fair play for giving credit where credit is due, Terry. I always do. To be honest with you, it's you have to. You cannot put this Man City team down. You cannot have a go at them. You cannot. You can't be salty with them. You can't be disrespectful towards them. There is simply nothing you can do that is fair. There's simply nothing you can do which is fair when it comes to this Manchester City team other than praise them. Looking at the league table here, what is there? It's 12 games to go. If they win all 12, they're 36 points. That will push them past 100 points total. And they don't look like they can be stopped. Right now, West Ham have probably given them the best game in the last 20 matches that I've seen. West Ham made it difficult. They scored, could have equalized at the end, but City still got through. They still pushed their way through it. And when you think about it today, when you look at that starting lineup, no Cancelo in the starting lineup today as an example. Rodri didn't start the game. He came on as a sub. Aguero got his first start. It probably wasn't the strongest City team that could have been picked, and they still did it. The 2 centre-backs getting goals as well. Absolutely phenomenal. That's all you can say about it. It's absolutely 110% phenomenal, and that is it. We have another super chat here. This is from man of the match, Fernandinho, is one of the first guesses. We're not going to reveal the results until the end of the show, but one of the first guesses here is Fernandinho that we have had in. That is from DJC. Keep the guesses, keep them coming in. Legend here says quadruple on, and February was meant to be a hard month with fixtures. Diaz and Stones have more goals than conceded. And that's how good City are. This was meant. This month was kind of the acid test. Can they get through this? Can they continue their run? They played Tottenham. They played Liverpool. They had the hard game against West Ham. Champions League football has returned. An FA Cup tie to boot. And Man City have just smashed it. This last 3 months, Manchester City have just gone to whole new levels. They've just absolutely destroyed the league. It's as simple as that. 1 second here. Man City just destroyed it. 1 second. Just updating the title here. There's a question I want to ask here. If Manchester City win the league, sorry, I'm just updating this. I'm posing the question is this. If they win the league this year and multiple domestic titles, maybe European success as well, they do the Centurions for a second time, does it make this Manchester City the greatest ever Premier League team? 3 Premier League titles in 5 years, multiple domestic cups, maybe Europe. What do they need to, and if it isn't good enough, what else do they need to achieve to push themselves into the greatest ever champions category? I really want people's views. I really want people's opinions on that. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to share the link on Discord for you to come on and for you to have your say. Blue Maniac here says, worst performance for a while, but most satisfying because of all the changes. I hear you on that. James thinks they're going to get 98 points this season. Champions League incoming. James here says, Pep is a G. Pep Guardiola, I'm making this claim now. If he's not already, if Pep Guardiola wins the Premier League plus at least one other trophy this season, he is the second greatest manager in Premier League history. Point blank, second greatest manager in Premier League history. I rarely say this on the Football Terrace, but I'm going to say it here. It's non-debatable as far as I'm concerned. You might want to phone up and have your say, but what, in your opinion, will take Pep's team to be in the greatest ever side? Where do you rank Pep amongst the Premier League greats as it stands right now? Get your super chats in, get your comments in as well. 98 points is the max. They can't get 100. Sorry, can they not get 100? Hang on a minute. So there's 30. Oh no, I'm an idiot. My maths are terrible. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I had the live tape. I hadn't updated this. Sorry, it showed them as 25. Sorry, I saw 25 games. I haven't updated the table. Just refreshing that. Yeah, so 98 points. But 98 points, maybe on and winning a domestic treble at the same time, maybe winning a European Cup at the same time. It's huge. So my apologies. It won't be 100 points. I'm sorry. I miscalculated that. So very, very sorry for doing so. Armchair critic here says, does Mourinho have an argument over Pep anymore? Not if Pep has the success this season I think he's going to have. Not if he wins. If he does the domestic treble again, especially, you can't even start to contemplate it. If we look over the last few years, let's actually get the facts up on the screen in front of us right now as it stands. Let's just get the facts up, right? Because at the elite end of the spectrum, I know a lot of people care about style of play and everything else. I don't really care about that. I care about the brass tacks. What did you win? We had a question here about the phrase, super chat for the phrase, is it park the bus? It's not park the bus. Keep your phrase guesses coming in. So one is a phrase that refers to a footballing tactic. The other is the player that I have named as today's man of the match. The second is a name used to describe a Premier League manager on social media. Get your guesses coming in. Go into that prize draw to win £100 worth of Amazon vouchers. Keep those guessing games coming. But let's just look here at the brass tacks of the matter when it comes to Pep Guardiola. Let's look at the honours that have been won here. So he's already won 2 Premier Leagues. Okay, and been the runner-up the other once already. So it's 2 Premier Leagues. He's won 1 FA Cup. He's won 3 League Cups. Yeah, he could win 4 League Cups on the bounce here. Again, I don't think anybody else has ever done that before, right? So by the end of this season, let's just say they win a domestic treble. Let's just say they win a domestic treble, right? That means it'll be 3 league titles, 4 League Cups, 2 FA Cups. Second best manager in the league. Second best manager in the league ever. Second best in the league ever. No doubts about that whatsoever. ever. We had a guest here at the man of the match. Danko has said KDB. Thank you very much for your super chat and getting that in. Dinesh here with the super chat says low block team. That's another guest that's come in there from Dinesh. We were revealing the results and the winners at the end of the show, all sealed here in the envelope. We're going to get some really nice special looking envelopes made up for this as well. I'm going to share the link now for you to phone up and have your say. But how great are this Manchester City team? Are they on course to become the greatest Premier League team of all time? If so, what do they need to do? What else? If they're not, what more do you want to see from them to take that crown? And where does Pep Guardiola stand in the all-time ranking list in the Premier League managers? For me, he's only second to Sir Alex Ferguson. And I do believe if a European Cup has won this season, along with the Premier League title, Man City certainly have a shout at being considered the greatest ever Premier League team, especially if they get points in the high 90s again. After the start they had this season, what they're doing right now is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Nothing more can be said about it than that as far as I'm concerned. Les says he's the best present manager. I would agree with that. What an assist by KDB with his left boot. Bruno can't do that. Listen, we know how good KDB is, and that goal as well sets up an amazing debate on the Football Terrace for next week around system goals versus moments of brilliance. I want to ask you all a question on that goal. Do you consider that goal to be a system goal, a team goal, or a goal that was generated by a moment of brilliance? And explain why in your comments as well. I'd love to know. Context is key. Nearly. Centurions is the season with the other teams struggling, takes points off the GOAT argument. Centurions was an exceptional season. But imagine they win 3 titles in 4 years and they do it with 100 points, 98 points, and 95 points. Plus, I always say this, great teams have multiple trophy winning seasons. They win titles back to back. If you do a domestic European, they do the domestic European double plus a League Cup. It's almost like the treble light. If they do the quadruple, the argument is finished. You've got no comeback. I'm a Man United fan. There's no comeback from it. You can't. And this City team look like they're going to do it, and they could do it with record points, and it could be done. They could have done it with record points on multiple occasions over a short period of time, 3 or 4 years. And it's the 3 to 4 year period when you judge a team. It's phenomenal. There's nothing more that can be said about it other than completely and utterly phenomenal. And I'm being honest with you, I'm petrified as a Man United fan, because I know a lot of people say you shouldn't celebrate your team, like City winning a treble. City failing to win a treble shouldn't make you happy as a Man United fan. Nah, bruv, it does. It's a crown that we hold. The same as I don't want Liverpool to get more league titles than us. The same as I don't ever want City having more league titles than us. You should want your team to be the biggest team in England and to have the most trophies and the most success and the best records out there. You should, if you don't love those things about your club, just call yourself a football fan. Don't tell me you're a supporter of a football club. That doesn't make sense to me. That's a madness. That's an absolute madness to not think and act in that way. It really does. I'm sharing the link now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Discord server. So get yourself signed up for that if you want to come on and have your say. It's been shared now in the general chat box, as we always do. We love the oil is what's being said there. Sib says, a moment of brilliance is when you do it on rare occasions. But when you keep doing it consistently and regularly, you can't call it a moment of brilliance because you expect it from him all the time. That's a great summary. So if you've got a player that's scoring 25, 30 goals a season, it's no longer brilliance that they're doing it. So if you have an attacker, so Eden Hazard scoring the goals the way he did for Chelsea, because he did it regularly, it's not a moment of a brilliance because it's not rare. That's a fair definition. I like that. That's not a bad one. Imagine they get Haaland next season. I don't even want to think about them getting Haaland next season. If they get Haaland, it is finished. It is over. It is done, finished, out of here, kaput. It's over. It's over. I told you already. If Haaland signs for Manchester City within 30 games, he will break the all-time single-season goal scoring record in the Premier League. He will beat it. He will obliterate it at City because he's at a 50% conversion rate. If City sign Haaland and Pep remains, no one's touching this title for a long, long time. Point blank. If they sign Haaland, it is over. It is done. It is absolutely, categorically finished. Techers here says KDB moment of brilliance player is what KD Techers thinks. See what a few more of you said about the moment of brilliance. We're going to go to your calls. KDB cleans his shoes with Kermit Fernandez. Terry, why are you giving that much credit to Pep? It's clear that City are getting this record due to the constant investment by owners. We know that Mourinho, Klopp, Wenger, Poch and Fergie would all do the same, plus a Champions League. No, I think that's unfair. I think that's a really unfair comment towards Pep Guardiola. The pressure of having to deliver when you've spent this much money is important. Man United have spent £9 billion on players since 2013, but so much of it has been wasted because it hasn't been the right player for the right manager for the right reasons. So it's about the right level of investment. And yes, they do have a monopoly, but you have to turn that monopoly into success. You have to make that work. You have to keep everybody hungry. To rejuvenate the squad like Pep Guardiola has done is nothing short of sensational. It is absolutely brilliant what he has done. And I'm not going to certainly try and take any credit away from him. I think he deserves the utmost respect for what he's achieved. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Some more super chats here. First one. And then we're going to go to your calls. First one from Centurions again says Haaland and Messi. Listen, if you had Messi to that as well, I ain't watching. I'm not watching it anymore. If it was like, I'm that kid, right? If it was my ball, I'd be taking my ball home. I'd be going home and crying on my bed, leaving you lot to play had, whatever we call it, had. You might call it tag. It's weird we call it had, you know. Do kids still play games like had or tag? And like we used to play Bulldog, which was good fun. Kiss Chase was my favorite. Runouts. Do you kids play runouts? I want to name me the games that you youngsters play, like on the, I'd say most of you probably didn't grow up on a housing estate. I did. On the housing estate, we played Bulldog, Had, Kiss Chase, and Runouts. Runouts was my favorite. You ever played Runouts? Runouts was the game. And Slapball. Slapball, we had a tennis ball and you slap it up against the wall. That was a great game as well. But Runouts was amazing. You get teams of about 10 people and there was a base. And only one person could set the base. The opposing team would have to run out. You'd go somewhere. You have to go quite far. And then the other team would have to hunt you all down and basically grab you. And then you were the part of their team type thing. But you had to make your way back to the base. And if you got, I think it was like more than 3 people got to the base, then your team won that round. Yeah, it was a wicked game, man. We played that enough. Football games, yeah, Wembley. See, we didn't call it Wembley knockouts. It was just called knockouts. My favorite game was headers and volleys. That was a hard game to play. Double knockouts was always great as well. But yeah, I'd love to know what games you used to play as kids, or as younger people. That'd be amazing to know. We're going to go to the calls in just a second. Super chat here from Legend says, if City get Haaland and Messi, we are winning the quadruple and beating Arsenal's 49-game invincibles. That is a big, 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 big claim. But make sure you're smashing like and share buttons. We're going to our first callers. Get your super chats in, guessing the man of the match, the name of a tactic used on football Twitter, and a name used to describe a Premier League football manager. Get your super chats in now and win a chance to win a £100 Amazon voucher courtesy of the Football Terrace. First caller of the day. We're gonna go to Lamin. Lamin's on the show. Welcome back, sir. What do you want to say?
Hi, Terry. How are you doing?
I'm very good. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say City now, they are just a guaranteed bet, really. If you're not going to make much money betting on them, but if you're going to put them on your accumulator, they're just there, really guaranteed to win. I didn't even watch the game because I knew that they were going to win. Right now, Pep Guardiola on the GOAT conversation, I think, yeah, people just have to put their biases aside, really, and just accept the fact. I also jumped on to ask a very quick question as well. Does the Football Terrace have a fantasy league for the larger community?
Not, I didn't set it up. One of the group might have done it. I don't do it because I don't have the time. So I'll speak to the panel and see if any of them and the host, they may have set one up. I don't take part. I just don't have the time. But yeah, there could be one and whatnot. But yes, yeah, I'll find out. We'll get that shared on our platforms, mate.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. And Pep Guardiola did piss me off today because I captained Sterling and he didn't even play him, so I didn't get any points on that. So ultimate thinking.
Do you know what? That's one of the reasons I don't do it, because I end up. Do you know why I don't do that? And I used to do like dream teams where you'd pick a team and they win points every week and you might win prize at the end of the year. I used to do all of that, and then what I found is that it made me start supporting my rivals. It made me wanting rivals to do well because obviously I wanted to be successful off the back of it, and I can't I can't have that. I hate watching a game of football where I want a rival to do well because it's going to win me points. So I decided to steer clear because I am quite literally that. I'm that petty, bruv. I'm that petty. There's no doubt. Lamin, thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. We really appreciate it here. We really, really do. Varsity here, Varsity Plus says Duck Duck Goose was the one. Now, I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Just a bit of a reminder for you all as well. Today at 5 p.m., we're going to go live with the Man United Chelsea combined 11 show. Thank you very much to Cal for the wicked new thumbnails that he's designed for us for all of our top 6 previews and top 6. So we only really do top 6 previews when top 6 teams play each other, and combined 11s. Really classy, really like them. So a big shout out to you. Your check is in the post, young man, and you deserve it. Thank you for making them for us. So yeah, make sure you're tuning in. And at 9 p.m. tonight, very special guest, Phil Brown, huge Man United personality, huge broadcaster in the Man United space. Is on That United show, 9 p.m. on the Football Terrace, and make sure you are tuning in. Next up on it, we've got ITES coming, we've got Aaron coming, but first we've got Chelsea boy. He's here himself. Ryan's back again, all the way from Jamaica. What you saying, brother?
Hey, Terry, you ever been to Jamaica?
Been to Jamaica? You know what's mad, right? My best friend at school, he moved over from Jamaica. Branson William was his name. Big up himself, Branson. And I was meant to go on holiday in like 2002 back with his mum and him. And then it got called off because I had a bad injury in kickboxing and then never ended up going, bruv. So I haven't been. Definitely want to.
Damn. You should check it out, man. It's nice. You don't like beach, man? Oh, man,
of course, I love a
beautiful beach, man.
I like beaches. Yeah. I like beaches. I like drink, and I like good food. And I know Jamaica has all 3 of them things. Plus a 4th thing, which I'm not going to say on it as well, bro. But yeah, you got all them things, bro, that I want.
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
Don't worry. When you're ready to go, link me up, and then we will
100, mate. 100.
Right? But anyway, yeah, I don't want to stray from your point though. But you see, with Pep now, yes, he spend money, yes, but we also have to understand that he know what he's doing. He know how to fit the players in the system, because he come with his system, and also what he know how to do too. He don't let me go back to something. I remember a lot of people were saying that Lampard didn't know his best 11.
Yes,
these things are rubbish. It's just experience Lampard didn't have. When you have a big squad like this, can you point out Pep 11? Every week, every game, this man will change something. He changed centre back. He changed this week. Is Sterling play, next week he don't play. Can you say, oh, I'm gonna man mark this man next week? No. So what would you say there? You don't know his best 11? No. That's what it comes between with the experience between Lampard and him there. He man try to keep everybody happy and still don't let, because you have to understand when other team coming up against you, you know, Terry, they try to do their recap and said, how can I do this? How can I stop this? That's why the man keep going like that. Because next week, if he's going to play midweek, say you watch him against Gladbach, right? And you're going to be like, okay, then Sterling did play. Sterling love to go to the byline. I'm going to stop him. Can you plan for him? David Moyes plan for him today? He didn't even get a look in it. So you're going to say Pep don't know his best 11? Give the man some credit. You get what I'm saying? It's just Lampard didn't know. Lampard couldn't manage the squad that he have like that.
You know what? You're so right. Sir Alex Ferguson, I don't know the stat on this, but I would say since the last 5-6 years in the Premier League, especially, that I remember a little more clearer than prior to that. It was almost like every week there was a change. Everybody right now could probably name, when fit, the best Liverpool 11, and we would all say Trent, Robertson, Gomez, Van Dijk. We would say Fabinho, Genie, Hendo, Salah, Mane,
Thank you.
Firmino.
Thank
But
you.
I saw a stat, right, that said something like that team has only started together like 5 or 6 times in a 12-month period. And I was like, wow. So you don't notice any subtle changes. Do you know one of my biggest bugbears in football is, Terry, what's our strongest 11? My answer's always been the same, right? It's depends who we're playing. Depends who we're
Thank
playing
you.
and the circumstance. 100% agree.
Yeah, because the other day too, before you go, the other day I hear this argument about Klopp and all stuff and about like rated. I wish could get to smoke Ram. Listen, the man burn out his players them. He have nothing to do with this injury with Van Dijk. Bro, look how many times Kevin De Bruyne injured out. Do they still carry on, right? Pogba is out now. You're still going on same way, right? Come on, don't find fault on one player like that. The man burn out his players them. Because the problem with Liverpool. You see that run that they go on to win the Premier League and Champions League? You think it takes boy to do that? You think it takes baby to do that? The man burn them out. And he don't rotate the squad because guess what? I don't know if he don't trust the players them. Look how long Shaqiri, what his name? Shaqiri? Yes. Look how long he's there. Yeah, look how long he's there. How often did he play? You understand what I'm saying? You know that if it was Pep that rotated the squad, you know that he would find a way to put him in, Curtis Jones to put him in, just like what he's doing with Foden right now. Look how long those men take to take a look in. The same 11 every week and burn out the man them. Look now, nothing. Yeah. They run out. It's like they're running out. They burn out.
I hear you. And do you know what? City doing so well this season, the turnaround's been amazing. But not being at it last year will also help give them the energy this year because there's only so long you can say, hello, what's going on, big man? But yeah, it's like it takes
say hi to Terry. That's my boy.
Hello, mate. Hello, Brett. Hello, mate. You all right? Hey, quality, man. Quality. But a question for you: where does Pep Guardiola rank in the all-time manager list?
You know the only thing if I want, because I'm a rival, so I'm gonna put him to the test. The only thing why I wouldn't say he's up there right now, only thing left for this man to do. Wait. I think he need to win the Premier League unbeaten. That's the only thing I could put on him right now. Yeah.
I hear that.
If he do the Premier League unbeaten, then hands up to him. Because what we're gonna do, I heard you say you're posting, say if you get Haaland and Messi. Might as well we just stop watching because he's going to win the league. Because look what he's doing already. Look what he's doing already. So the only bar I can say, Terry, say that go unbeaten then. If he even get one of them, go unbeaten then and that's it. Or maybe the quadro, you could say, everything, the whole trophy then. Those are the 2 bar and he be the greatest. That's the only bar left to set.
I hear that. Listen, bro, I'm gonna let you get back to daddy duties, man. And don't touch that, son. Yeah, get that. Need that. Listen, bro.
Thank you, man. All right, respect. See you later, man. All right,
we're gonna get you on after Chelsea Man United tomorrow. We'll get you on the air, mate. We'll get you on the air, brother.
Oh my God, I'm so gassed for that, man. And I'm gonna make sure I eat early. You understand? Because if they lose today, I can't eat. No, I know you take it for a joke, Terry. When Chelsea lose, I don't want to see no food, no nothing. Not even my son come around me. You get what I'm saying? So I make sure I fill my belly first, and then I watch the show because that's the only way I can carry on. But I won't keep up the show. I'll see you tomorrow. Listen, all right?
Take care, bro. All the best, mate. All the best, Ryan. See you later, mate. Love that guy. Gorgeous child as well. Gorgeous child. Hit that like and that share button, people. Super chat from Jason here that says, Terry, what did you and Jamin Ryan think of West Ham's performance? I thought West Ham did really well today, and they got themselves back into the game. They scored a fantastic equalizer as well. And they had moments. They had moments in the second half through good play that could have led to another equalizer or even taking the lead earlier on in the match. They took it to City at the right times, but just simply not enough quality to be able to keep them out. And they kind of kept the attacking players fairly quiet at City. But if you look at the goal they conceded, the pressure that City put on you, the midfield and defensive line dropped too deep. There was too much space created. That gave the likes of John Stones on the edge the opportunity to score. And just not enough today. But what a season West Ham are having. I haven't actually checked the table for West Ham's point of view. Still 4th. They could obviously drop out of that this weekend with wins for Liverpool and win for Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea don't win as a United fan. But what a fantastic season they are having. And it could end up being one of West Ham's greatest ever Premier League and league seasons, no doubt. Itest has gone. Get yourself back on, Itest. Where are you going with its impatient nature? Get yourself back on. Remember, we've got the 3 mystery words in the envelope. Guess them now. One is about tactics. They're all words we've used on the Football Terrace. One's today's man of the match. and the other one is a name used to describe a Premier League manager. Get your super chats in now to enter the prize for £100 Amazon voucher. We're going to go to one of our next callers here. Remember, we're speaking Pep Guardiola. What level of greatness does he have in the Premier League? Where does he rank? And what more do you want to see from this City team for them to be crowned the greatest ever Premier League champions? Do you think they already are the greatest ever Premier League team of all times? Let us know right now. Next on the stream, we're going to get Chris on the show. Chris, welcome back to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say?
Yeah. Now I know you're from East London because Runats, Bulldog, yeah, we played that back in the day. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, those were two great games. But anyway, about this Pep, I need to defend Liverpool actually from your previous call. I'm sorry, but Jurgen Klopp has that main 11, and there's a reason why he only starts that main 11. He doesn't trust the people on the bench. And why doesn't he get rid of them? Is because he can't get rid of them because they're either too injured or they're Divock Origis, and who's going to buy them? So you need to take it into account that Pep Guardiola, he has spent money on flops. He has, and you need to take into account that Jurgen Klopp can't just say, okay, there's a £40 million defender. Let me go and buy that defender to substitute this defender. But Pep can in a single season. So we got to take these things into account when you bring Jurgen Klopp and why he's burning out these players. He can't trust the people on the bench, and I think that's been portrayed this season. Because do
you know what? I get that. Listen, I of course Pep Guardiola, we know he had. I mean, he's kind of made. I haven't seen what he said, so I haven't heard his tone of voice, but I get the feeling that he's made quite a sarcastic, flippant comment when they said, "How do you keep yourself at the top where we have a lot of money?" But he's also speaking the truth. City have the monopoly in the Premier League. They have the most resource. They have the most money. Where I kind of, it's never made me feel bitter because they have what they have. The money is there. It's their money, but you have to still spend it correctly. Man United have wasted it on players. You'd even look at Liverpool. Pretty much every midfielder that you've purchased that come into the club to give you more creativity from the middle, the Caters, the Oxes, right now a little bit with Thiago, he's struggling. They haven't worked out. So there is an element of if those three signings would have worked out for Klopp in how he wanted, you wouldn't really have the issues that you're going through now. I know you've got defensive issues, but I feel that it's more your midfield and creating of opportunities and taking chances that's been the problem this year. But where do you put this City team in terms of the level of greatness in the Premier League era? Are they first, second, third, fourth? And if not, if they're not at the top, what more do they need to do to be considered the greatest ever Premier League team?
To me, when I think about one of the greatest teams, I know it's unfair, but you need to take the money into account, in my opinion, because they have spent a lot. So they do need a Champions League. I feel like they do need multiple trophies, including the Champions League. If they get a treble this season, or even a quadruple, yes, they're in the conversation, definitely. Pep, one of the greatest, definitely, if he gets the Champions League this season. But to me, if he doesn't get that, to me, that's just like, okay, if he wins another domestic treble again, it means, well, he can rest a lot of players because the league's pretty much done. The League Cup, he's got that final. He's going to beat Spurs easily. And then the FA Cup, that's really the only one he needs to worry about, or the Champions League. But like I said, if they only win a domestic treble, to me, it's not going to be any big of a deal to me. I think their domestic treble, the season they nipped it from us, would be better than this season if they got a domestic treble. But if they end up getting a proper treble with including the Champions League, then yes, they're definitely in the conversation, 100%.
So, I mean, I get that they would need, for me, they need European success.
Yeah.
To go in front of Manchester United's 99 team and arguably to go in front of Man United's 2008 team. In terms of collective trophies in the last 4 years,
okay, yeah,
I think they've won more than both of those teams. So in terms of single season, they have to at the very least achieve a treble to be considered as a treble winners. I think that's a fair statement for everyone to make.
Yeah,
in terms of when you look at a team and its block, a block of its success, if they win the European Cup, the Premier League, and League Cup this year, and then you look back and go, last year they won a League Cup. Season before that, they won the domestic treble. The year before that, they won the Premier League with record points and a League Cup at the same time. I sort of look at that as a 3 to 4 year period, and I'm saying, barring Man United's treble winning team, maybe Man United's 2008 team, and that's for a debate we had. It's a guarantee they're better than anyone else. If they throw in like a proper treble or a quadruple in that, they win the quadruple, they go #1. It's like point blank, the greatest ever
you can't deny that. No.
in the Premier League. It's there. And what about Pep Guardiola? Where do you feel he ranks? Better than Wenger? Better than Klopp? Better than Jose? Like, where do you put him in the kind of manager spectrum right now?
I mean, I can never admit he's better than Klopp. You know, that's one thing I'll never be able to say. But Pep Guardiola, you see, you're right. You need to spend the money right, and not only do you need to spend the money right, you need the right players. And I can't be called I'll be calling myself a hypocrite here if I don't think this is Pep Guardiola isn't the reason they're playing the way they play, because Jurgen Klopp is the reason we played the way we played last season. It really reflects on the manager, and I think Pep this season he has proved that he can recreate a team, change the system a little bit, and look, they're on the 20-win streak. I never saw that coming, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, Pep Guardiola, where I'd rank him right now, I want to say second, but like I can't put him over Klopp. I can't. But if we're talking about trophies, yeah, Pep second. Yeah, Pep second. Yeah, he has to be.
Listen, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Man like Chris has put Pep still behind Klopp. I want your views, I want your opinions. Phone into the show now. Cheers, bro. Not taking anything away from Pep, but not taking anything away from Pep, but he has an unbelievable complete squad. He always has done in his career. Barca, Bayern, City, still an EPL great, though. I get your point, but how great? Who do you put him in front of and behind? Give us your rationale. Viewers phone in. The link's available now on the Discord server. I will repost it on the Discord server as well for you guys to come and have your say. I'm going to go and do that right about now in case you've missed out on it. I'll put it in the comment section on YouTube also for you to come on and have your say, because I want you to come on and have your opinion here. Guardiola, where does he rank in terms of greatness in the Premier League, and how good is this City team? We have another super chat that's come through from Micah. He says Pep has changed the style of play in the Premier League, and by doing that has increased the standards of the Premier League, hence our league dominance in the Champions League and Europa in the last few years. So you think he's one of the greatest? I'd love, at the end of that, give us your view and opinion. Get your super chats in as well for the secret phrases that are still in our mystery envelope to win a £100 Amazon voucher. That's still running until the end of this show. We had a good few guesses come in so far. Next on the channel, we're going to get Kamar on the show. Kamar's a Chelsea fan. Kamar, welcome to the channel, bro. What do you want to say?
Hey, Terry, big up, Terry, man. Big up, man. Here in Jamaica, watch your show like every single day, man. The biggest YouTube show, man. I have to say, we in Jamaica love your show, guys, man. Love your show, man.
I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you very, very much indeed. What have you phoned to say today?
Yes, about the greatest team, man. Cannot be Man City, man. Cannot be Man City, man. Gotta be Manchester United, man. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I have to admit, man. Gotta be Manchester United, man. And that era under Sir Alex, man, it would be one of the greatest team we ever see, man. Man City need a Champions League, man. Pep have won a lot, you know, and I agree. But without a Champions League, it cannot be put in that bracket, man. Come on, man, Terry, man. We all know this, man.
Listen, I understand that. For me, I wouldn't put them above that. I wouldn't put them above as a team above the treble or the 2008 team because of what those two teams went through on the bounce. They won Champions League and Premier Leagues in same seasons, and they won some domestic trophies in and around those eras as well, which I think is important. But I look at this City team, and I think I'm going to put them third behind that. I think if you look over the last 4 years, I think right now they come in third behind it on that list. If they add in more record-winning titles and that Champions League, I think the debate really opens up. There's no doubt. In terms of manager, though, do you think Pep's now overtaken Jurgen Klopp? Do you think he's overtaken Wenger, Jose Mourinho in the kind of all-time greatest Premier League managers?
All right, to be honest with you, Terry, I think Pep Guardiola is a great coach. But if you notice, and many people don't realize this, Pep Guardiola last Champions League victory was with Lionel Messi, right? From he has left Barcelona under Lionel Messi, hasn't win the Champions League. I think the furthest he went is the quarterfinal, and that says some things to you, Terry. that say something to you. And I'm saying, Pep Guardiola is not really a grafter as a coach. You know, he's a person that you give him the platform, you give him the tools, you give him the money and the players. He can build something, but he still need that little special individual talent there, you know, to carry him over the line. You know, that's why they're going after Messi again, and going after Haaland and all of these players, because he need them to get over the line. He's not a team builder as a coach. He can, you know, I'm not saying he cannot do it. You know, I'm yet to see it, but I think Sir Alex, I think Jose, you know, as bad as Jose last decade has been, you know, you can't disrespect Jose. You know what I mean? Because his history speaks for itself. And Klopp have been proving it in the recent history that he's a coach that can build team and make what they call it, underrated players better. You know, and build a team called couture. You know what I mean? In other words, so Pep Guardiola is a good coach, but you need that money and that platform to really build a team.
I hear what you're saying. You make good points there. Listen, bro, thank you for coming on. And listen,
get me on some more, Terry, man. Get me on some more, man. I've been calling the Discord server, man, for a long time. Get me on the program. Get me on the program, man.
Yeah, drop me a DM, bro. I'd love to get you on some of our reaction shows as well, bro. Good point. Drop me a DM on Twitter. Definitely get you on, my brother. You look after yourself, bro. Speak to you again soon. All the best. What I love about the Football Terrace community, global. We've got fans and viewers from all around the world that watch us. We cover, you know, I made the decision sort of 4 years ago to go away from the Devil's Terrace that we were called and become the Football Terrace, because I wanted to cover more than one team. It was initially the top 4, then it branched out into the top 6. Now it's the top 6 plus 1. We've added Leicester to that. Leicester are not the plus 1, by the way. Arsenal are, and it's growing. And we have this global fan base that cover this, that will watch so many Premier League teams. It's been an amazing journey, and I see more and more YouTubers now covering more than their own team. Like what Don Robbie's doing is amazing with his new channel, and I love seeing it. And yeah, having interactions like that are absolutely out of this world. Next on the show, iTest is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. iTest is in the house. He is with us right now. Mike here with another super chat says Sir Alex, Pep, Klopp, top 3 in that order. Klopp has to be there because him and Sir Alex Ferguson are the only coaches to win both the Champions League and Premier Leagues at a club. That is such a big and fair statement. It's one I've never really thought about. Klopp in the top 3, Pep number 2, with Sir Alex at the top. Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, how do you feel about that? Phone us right now. The link to call in is on the Discord server. It's also in the chat room as well on here. It's on the Discord server chat page, in the general chat page, and it's just been shared again on the in the live chat here. Mike has made a big claim there. He has. Next super chat. We're gonna go here and look at a super chat from Man Like Jake, who says, My cat could coach City. Pep does nothing special, is what Jake thinks. See, I have to. Sorry, Jake, I know it's a super chat and I respect it, but you're wrong. Pep Guardiola plays a sublime style of football, a consistent style of football, and has almost unprecedented pressure. If he doesn't deliver, if he doesn't win the league, it's a failure. What other Premier League manager has the pressure on him right now? Pep's got. The pressure on Pep is win the Champions League or you're a failure. That's it. Show me anybody else who has that pressure upon them. That unyielding, unequivocal, unambiguous pressure put upon them. You won't find anybody else, in my opinion. Man like Andrew here with a super chat. I've just gone past it, I think. No, I found it again. Says, Klopp isn't even top 4. Fergie, Pep, Jose Wenger, Klopp. In that order is what Andrew thinks. Listen, if you disagree, get your super chats in or phone into the show now. We may have had one person guess right on one of the 3 mystery words. There are still definitely 2 remaining. Get your predictions in now as well for them. Next on the show, he's back by popular demand. It's Man Like iTest. What you saying, iTest?
Yes. I wanted to ask you a uncomfortable question. Uncomfortable question. That is, if Pep wins the quadruple, is he greater than Ferguson? Not in the Premier League, in everything, managers in general. If he wins the quadruple with Manchester City, is he greater than Alex Ferguson?
Really good question. really good question. I think it puts him on course to be. The one thing that Fergie did, which is unprecedented, is he rebuilt sort of 4 teams over a 25-year period. He took a team like Manchester United that were in the doldrums and grew them out of that over a period of time, rebuilt the academies, etc. He also did what he did in Scotland, which younger fans shouldn't be discounting. You should understand that Scotland in the 70s and 80s was a superb league. It was a league that was competitive across the world, right? And he went there where there was 2 teams that had the financial monopoly, and he broke them, and he won domestically on a European basis. Those things Pep hasn't done. Pep hasn't taken over unfancied teams with less resources than other people and turned them into and won the biggest trophies. However, if he wins a quadruple and then goes on for the next sort of 10, 15 years, winning league titles, etc., he'll have 3 Champions Leagues by then. He's on course to being better than Fergie. It'll be a debate to be had, but of course he's on course for doing it. I'll give you an example. 7, 8 years ago, Jose Mourinho was on course to be in the debate for greatest ever manager, but his rapid decline takes him out of that now, doesn't it? And that's the one thing you say about Pep. If Pep wins a quadruple, if Pep wins a treble this year, which would be 2nd treble, so maybe you could argue he's there or thereabouts, and then just starts fading away, and then wins maybe 2 more league titles in the next 10 years, I don't think people will think he's better. In terms of single season achievement, if they win a treble, it's the greatest single achievement ever in the history of the Premier League by any manager or by any team. I can't yield from that because I say the treble is the greatest. And if you do something better than the treble, you have to be better. So there's legacy and then there's greatness. And I think there's still a long way for Pep to go to be greater than Fergie. But in terms of single season success, you can't look beyond that. It will be an amazing achievement, no doubt.
Yes. So on the team, what you also asking, is this Man City team the greatest Premier League team of all time?
Is it, or what do they need to do or what do they, or where do you see them in terms of greatness, and what do they need to do to become the greatest? Yes.
Okay, for me, if they win the quadruple this season, which it looks like it could happen, if we're being objective, we have to say this is the greatest team in Premier League history. But for me, if in terms of individuals in that team, I wouldn't say so. I've seen much better teams in terms of individuals, players in that team. You can't say this team in terms of individuals is better than the Man United team, for example. Both Man United teams. You're telling me Sterling is better than Cristiano Ronaldo? No. Gundogan's better than Scholes? No. It's not better than the Arsenal team with Henry, with Bergkamp, Ashley Cole. It's not better than the Chelsea team. Ashley Cole again, Terry. It's not better than it's not the best team in Premier League history of all time in terms of individuals. Never. But if we're being objective in terms of achievements, if they do that, I think it's the greatest Premier League team ever.
Yeah, listen, do you know what's interesting about your point there? There are quite a lot of people that will often disrespect. Thank you, by the way, to Wire for upgrading your membership here with the Football Terrace. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Man United often get disrespected when it comes to greatest player conversations. You very rarely hear Man United players. Cristiano Ronaldo gets in there a lot because of what he's gone on to achieve. But when he was in the Premier League, no one ever said he would be. Most Man United sort of top players always get dismissed. So I'm not surprised. And they tend to go. I always find that it's generally Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea players that get regarded as the best ever in the Premier League. And the irony in that is that both Manchester clubs over the next 3 or 4 years will cement it. I've had the most success in the Premier League era, but yet our individual players never seem to get as much congratulations, if that makes sense. So maybe there is that. But in terms of, it's a debate to be had around individual players, who's better than who. And that's for another day. In terms of greatness, if they win a treble this year, for me, they go into it becomes a debate to be had. They win a quadruple, they become the greatest ever Premier League team based on the other trophies they've won in the last 3 or 4 years as well. The Pep Guardiola argument, it's one I'm not prepared at this point, mainly through bias, to say that Guardiola is a greater manager than Fergie. One thing I would definitely say, I think he's a better coach, an individual coach than Fergie. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing I'd say is this: I give a lot of credit for the pressure that Pep's under and having to win. and the one thing I've always said that Jose has over him is Jose's got unfavored teams that weren't expected to win things. That's still something I'd like to see Pep Guardiola do in his career. For instance, they're on the resurgence at the moment, but go and rejuvenate AC Milan, or go to Italy and take Napoli and make them win the league. You know, go to back to Spain and take an unfavored team and turn them into the best team in the league. Do you get what I mean? I think we've kind of seen Jose's. We've seen Klopp do it at Dortmund, teams that weren't meant to win because of the monopoly. We've seen Fergie do it with Aberdeen. These managers have achieved that, and there's probably other examples out there that I'm just don't have the knowledge of. There's still that missing from Guardiola. Doesn't mean we should discount what he's done with these great teams with great budgets, but each team he's been at does have the monopoly. Doesn't mean those teams can't be the greatest in their era, but when you're looking at managers, we have to look at all their achievements. And with Fergie, for instance, everybody looks at what he kind of did 99 onwards. They don't take into consideration all the work he had to do to rebuild Man United and what he did at Aberdeen. And I find that element, they almost leave that out and ignore it because it kind of destroys their narrative a little bit. But I test, great call, mate. Thank you very much for coming on, having your say. Really appreciate it, young man. We actually agree again. It's the second or third time in a few weeks we've kind of agreed on some things there. It's amazing. Get your super chats in right now, people. We've still got sort of 10 minutes of the show left to guess the 3 mystery words. One is a system. I'll give you a bit of a clue. The man of the match today is a City player, of course, and he plays in more of an attacking role. The tactical element is going to feature on a big debate on the football terrace soon, and the name of the manager relates to Pep Guardiola. There's some clues for you. Next on the show, we've got Blue Media FC, a City fan with us today. What are you saying, mate?
I just wanted to talk about the sort of greatest managers of all time and that stuff. I think if we're saying of all time, I think Pep is better than Sir Alex just because he has won more trophies and such. But if we're talking about Premier League, no one could beat Sir Alex until they win 13 Premier Leagues. I think that's easy to say.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a salty question. This is a real question. Has Pep won more trophies than like major trophies than Fergie? I don't know if he has, and that's not. He might have done. I've never looked. So let's have a look and see what he's got. He probably does have, to be fair. So he won as a manager. He's won 3 league titles with Bayern. He's got 6, 7, 8. This will be his 9th league title. Yeah, man, that's amazing. 9 league titles. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major domestic cups, and of course the 2 Champions Leagues. So he's got the same amount of Champions Leagues. Yeah, I mean, he's behind in terms of overall numbers, I think. I haven't counted Fergie's, but he's also young. That's the thing with Pep Guardiola. Why he could, and I know United fans will hate me for saying this, but why he could overtake 30 is he's 50. If he keeps his winning rate up until he's 65, he'll win more than Fergie. He may not win more Premier Leagues, but so he may not overtake Fergie in terms of greatest Premier League manager, but I hear you on that one. His coaching is definitely, in terms of his style of football, I get a lot of people say he's a better coach, and I think that makes a lot of sense to me. In terms of your team, City, though, where do you rank them in terms of greatest Premier League team?
I don't know. It's quite hard because we've had a team with David Silva, Yaya Toure, Kompany, and it's quite hard, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say this is the best City team. I think the ones where we had David Silva, Vincent Kompany, Yaya Toure, I think they were better. But in terms of as a team, we play better as a team. We've got a solid defense. We've got players that work in the system. But if we're talking about greatest of all time, I think the Centurion City side is better than the current one, in my opinion.
I put those teams in the same ilk. So when I look at greatest teams, I try to look at like a 4 or 5 year block of those teams as a collective. Now, certain players have come and gone in that time, but your cores remain very stable and it's under the same manager. So I look at, from when Pep took over till now, I look at that as one team built. Does that make sense? And I look at that as a collective and say it's only behind Man United's 2008 and 99 winning teams is in the block that those clubs were in. Does that make sense? And if you win a treble or a quadruple this year, I'm probably going to have to concede defeat on that. But listen, young man, thank you very much for your call. Really good points, really respectful points being made. Thank you for all your support as well. I know you're a big follower of the Football Terrace, so thank you very much, bro. Super chat here from Hussein says, for me, Jose over Pep, with Pep catching up. To your point, he took lesser teams like Porto and Inter and won the Champions League. Pep always had a team that is considered a favourite and failed to win, except with Barca. I think that's fair points being made there. We have some more super chats. Says, what about Leeds' chances in the UEFA Conference League? And to be honest with you, I haven't even looked at the UEFA Conference League. I don't even know who's going to be in it. I don't know what's going on with it. When someone mentioned it the other day, I'll be blunt with you, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a legit joke. Can Pep win with Leeds United? Then he is great. But that's what I'd almost like to see him do. I'd love to see him go and take over a team with a good budget and turn them into, do you get what? I'd love to see him do that. I'd love to see him do it. That's the only thing I don't know if he can do. And maybe that's something people take away from him legacy-wise, somewhat. Next on the show, we're going to get Aaron on. Aaron, welcome back to the terrace. What you saying, young man?
Hi, Terry. Sorry I ain't got my camera on. I'm watching Donny Ipswich right now. We're 20 minutes in and we're giving him a good show. So that's why I fell off the stream backstage earlier, because I was trying to switch devices. But yeah, I think that overall, Man City were really good today. Brighton's just missed a penalty. Yeah, Man City have done really well today. I think I'd give credit to West Ham. I think David Moyes, I'm going to say this now, I think if Liverpool keep dropping points, I think if Chelsea go on a bad run, Man United go on a bad run, and Leicester keep dropping points, I reckon West Ham could be in the top 4 race. Maximum top 4, minimum top 6. I think that this is arguably the greatest season for West Ham. I give credit to David Moyes for the way he sent out his players today. But I think it was just that added quality, to be honest, with Man City. I think they're just too good, man. So I think they're going to win the Premier League. No doubt about that. They're going to win the Carabao Cup. Sorry to Spurs fans, but I just don't think they've got enough compared to City. FA Cup, they've got a good chance. They've got a 95% chance of winning that. Champions League, I'd say it's 50-50 between them and Bayern Munich. So it's going to be interesting. But I think if you can get that quadruple, or at least a treble, the domestic treble, I think that Pep's going to have another great season this season. But before I go, Terry, massive respect to you. We're still 0-0, and we put our strongest team. And just for anyone that's won any full times, Bournemouth won 1-0 against Watford in the Championship. So Bournemouth are in the Championship playoff places now. So they're going to go back to the Premier League, hopefully under Jonathan Woodgate. And obviously at the minute, Brighton are still 1-0 down at West Brom, thanks to that Kyle Bartley goal and a missed penalty from Pascal Gross. So thank you very much, Terry. And let's get 3 points, because we put out our strongest team.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, Aaron. All the best, mate. Speak to you again soon. John Stones is the guest there for the man of the match today from Malik. Comment super chat here says Pep has bought 111 players in his career with a total of over $1 billion. I hear that, but so what? Come on, bro. He's still one of the greatest. He's still one of the greatest. He's still one of the greatest. How does that compare to other people? Hans, thank you very much for becoming a member of the Football Terrace. You become a squad member right now. It's a big shout out to you for doing that. It means a great deal to us. Final caller of the day. We are going to go, so many people to pick from. I'm going to go with Daniel. Daniel is a Chelsea fan. What do you want to say, mate?
Hello, Terry. All right. How's everything? Good?
I'm good, bro. What's on your mind?
No one's ever going to overtake Alex Ferguson, in my opinion.
Why is that?
Because he's done it with he's done it with like a lower budget, if that makes sense, and he's done it with multiple teams. Sorry, the same team. Sorry.
No, I get you. I get you. Where do you class this City team, though? Where do you look when you look at this team now with what they're likely to win this year? Where do you think they rank in terms of Premier League, the Premier League's greatest ever teams?
I'd still say third.
Third. Okay, fair enough, mate. How confident are you ahead of Chelsea Man United tomorrow?
I always back my team. You know that, Terry. So
110%, bro. Listen, I appreciate you coming on, Danny boy, and having your say, mate. And we'll chat to you again soon, big man.
I've been a member for a year as well. It's an honour.
Oh, you got your new? You got your badge now?
Yeah, a year. Yeah.
Yeah, all our members that signed up a year ago, they've got their brand new year. They're all going to change soon, though, because the Football Terrace logo and a few other things are changing very soon. But the new stuff we're having designed is amazing. Can't wait to share the news and all the changes coming with you soon, mate. Take care, Danny boy. Top man. Top man. Ram's with us. We're going to go to Ram. One of the panel turned up today. How's it going, Ram?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Sorry I couldn't be on for the last week. I've been a bit busy.
Brother, listen, you guys, listen. I know, unlike unpopular opinions out there, like, it's fine. You don't owe me nothing. Like, you guys come on, it's great. You're part of the prescribed panel, but, you know, we're all good. What are you saying, man? What are you saying about this Pep kind of versus the rest, or the greatest ever team debate? What are you saying?
I think it's a bit premature. We need to wait until the end of the season to see what they do. In terms of him being one of the greatest managers, I don't think it's him going to another club. I think if he goes to Spain and wins the World Cup and the European Championships, I think he's the greatest. Like, I think Beckenbauer is the only person that's ever won a league title and won the World Cup as a manager and a player. So if he does that, I think he's the undoubted, undisputed greatest ever manager of all time.
Danny, I'd love your opinion on this debate, because for me, it's a conversation that needs to be had with what City are kind of tracking towards this year. We know how good Pep is. I still put them behind both of United's Champions League winning teams based on the block of trophies they all won. But if they were to win a treble this year, or they won a quadruple this year, do you think they're deserving to go above those Man United teams?
Terry. People say Terry is biased. You can see the fact you're even asking this question. Listen, the 2008-2009 Manchester United team. Let's stop it. If we're talking squad depth, though, it's different, because, you know, Pep doesn't have to use a Darren Fletcher or a Park Ji-sung or a John O'Shea. Do you know what I mean? It's. Let's see what happens. I have to say this though. At the start of the season, I thought City were dead food. And you want to know why I thought City were dead food? I don't watch Portuguese football. I had no idea how good Diaz was. I had no idea. Because what I said at the start of the season was, like, as much like I respect Pep, he's a great manager. Like, you cannot deny that. He's revolutionized football. Everybody's obsessed with pressing, by the way, because of Pep. Like, let's get that clear. The obsession with pressing across Europe is because of Pep. People playing in triangles as a standard now in English football is because of Pep and the Spanish national team taking Pep's ideas. Even terminology like repetition and patterns of play. This is because of Pep. People are uttering these terms in 2021. As someone who lived through these things, this is because of Pep. And one thing I have to say as well is Pep, look, he took Dutch ideas, Italian ideas, German ideas, but he repackaged it and he built upon it. Like using fullbacks as midfielders, that's Pep evolving, etc., etc., etc. That being said, so as much as I can say he's great in his own right, as soon as we start talking about other managers, the problem is Mourinho won a Champions League with Porto. Sir Alex Ferguson toppled the Rangers and Celtic monopoly Rangers and Celtic monopoly in Scottish football and won with Aberdeen. He won the European Cup with Aberdeen, by the way, people. I know,
against Real Madrid.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you start getting into that conversation of greatest ever compared to other managers, these are the things that you can just actually throw at Pep and say, when have you ever had to overachieve? Look, you give a great manager, let me be clear, Pep is a great coach, not just a great manager, an amazing, otherworldly coach, and you give him amazing resources and the best talent, you get great results. You get great results. But like Ram, as soon as you move it, and that's why I don't always like comparing greats, because now I have to hate on Pep a little bit. Now I have to nitpick. Yeah. Now I have to say, when did he overachieve? If Diaz is not as good as Diaz is, what does City season look like? What does it look like? Because what's happened is they sacrifice offense for better defense because Diaz has improved the defense.
Do you know what's interesting about all the system stuff is simple. When I look at Pep's, we're doing a big debate next week on the show about systems versus individual brilliance. The one thing I'd say about Pep Guardiola's system, and I don't even care to get into the granular detail of it, but I know I'm right. Without superior football players, it doesn't work. So if you took out, like as you say, if you took out KDB, Fernandinho, Sterling, Diaz, and say Cancelo, and you put in sort of bang average elite level footballers. So if you then threw in players of the Darren Fletcher, John O'Shea, Park Ji-sung, Phil Neville level of football,
Phil Neville,
no, but like good footballers, won Premier Leagues. But if you then put them into this system, it wouldn't work as fluently and as well. So this is it's not an attack at Guardiola's system, but I think we've seen this before, right? When Man United slapped up Real Sociedad 4-0, it's because Sociedad play, for me, a very progressive style of football where they're pressing and they're pushing forward. They go forward in numbers to try and move the ball around well. But because they don't have the overriding level of quality of player, it doesn't work with as much regularity and consistency, and you get caught out. And this is why I'd say is great about certain managers. I think when we had Ryan on earlier, knowing your best team is a horses for courses notion. It's who are we playing? What approach do we go with? The way West Ham play against City is different to how they approach a game against Brighton. Why? Because they're up against a different opponent. I think when you're Pep Guardiola, I think his style and system works perfectly when you have the monopoly. And it isn't to discount it and say you're not as good as you think you are. It's impeccable. But without the level of quality player he has, it doesn't work. And do you know how we know that? Year one, it wasn't working and it wasn't as consistent, and he had to overhaul.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Can I just repeat? Sorry, Ram. Just to repeat what Terry was saying. It's a perfect marriage of great ideas, a great coach, and resources. It's not hating by pointing that out. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. What do you do when an amazing coach has amazing resources? What do you do? There's not much you can do. Can I just point out the second goal that City scored today? I didn't see the full game, but I saw the highlights of it. Mahrez has to beat a player and then pick out a precise cutback for that goal to go in. Well, just want to point that out.
No, but this is going to go to the debate. So again, earlier on today, what I saw from a few people was, well, because we've seen City score these goals on multiple occasions, doesn't matter how good the individual brilliance is, it makes it a system goal because we've seen it before. Now, again, I'm really happy. I'm not, like for me, I'm not kind of precious. I don't care what the definition for system versus individual brilliance goal is. I just then want us to apply that logic. However, if you say it can only be a system goal if we've seen it 50 times, you're very, barring City and maybe Liverpool, no one's going to be scoring system goals because they don't have the players with the level of consistency to score those goals on a regular basis. So it's going to be a great debate next week. There's no doubt about that.
I've got a question.
One sec, mate. Thank you for your super chat. It says, I think they are not as good as the two United teams that won the Premier League and Champions League. Also, Liverpool's team in the 70s and 80s were in front of City. Do you know what, Harvey? What I would say about that is we always say Premier League because I weren't born in the 70s and I didn't really watch football in the 80s, so I can't speak for how good or bad they are. So if I keep it to the Premier League because I remember every Premier League season, so I think that's a fair thing. What were you going to say, Ram?
I was gonna ask you guys. When you look at Pep Guardiola's plethora of players that he used, I think one thing that stands out to me is that, especially with the likes of Alex Ferguson, Alex Ferguson could get the tune out of a player that maybe is not the most skillful or the most has the most ability out of them, but they have the work ethic to be better. And I feel in those plethora of players that Guardiola has had, I can't name one of them that was touted out to be an incredible, not to be an incredible player in the future.
You know the one people will point to, and even then his use was limited and specific, Fabian Delph. That's the one player people look how Pep improved him. But within the Pep system, he had a very, very specific role. And it didn't last long, did it? He moved him on very, very quick. Yeah. By the way, one of my favorite moments of the Man City documentary is when Fabian Delph is in the dressing room saying, guys, we need to get back to basics. And Pep just sons him we're well behind basics here, mate. We're not getting back to no basics at all.
But it's very, very true. The level of sophistication in the play, no one can deny it. And it's like, I said to someone the other day, if you want Pep's football at Man United, the only way you're getting that is if you bring Pep in. Like it is what it is. Like,
can I take you back off that?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. All you Fred lovers, say goodbye to Fred. Yeah, I know. See, the Pep lovers who want to see that, they hate McTominay. So yeah, McTominay's gone. Matic is gone. Most of that team would struggle. Do you know what always frustrates me, Terry? Is reference your work, people. If you're a Manchester United fan, you know what a repetitious coach who's meticulous tactician looks like. His name is Louis van Gaal. When he imposed that system on players that it did not suit, what happened? It got monotonous and it got boring because the individual quality to elevate LVG's tactics, which by the way were 10 out of 10. LVG as a tactician was 10 out of 10. He never had a problem tactically. Never had an issue at all. The problem he had was he did not have players to elevate his ideas. You can't disagree with me, Ram.
Cruyff would disagree with you.
Well,
yeah, that's it's Dutch, but you know how arrogant the Dutch are, Ram. Come on.
but see, he's
Oh,
right.
let me correct that statement for people saying racist. Dutch coaches and football players, when it comes to ideas, clash in an arrogant way. I'm not saying Dutch people are arrogant. I take that back. Just to, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
For me, though, when it comes to LVG, you're right. The tactics were fine. It was the personnel to deliver it. You got to remember, he was almost trying to play a Barcelona-esque Pepe style of football because he was one of the pioneers of this in the modern day era. Like Van Gaal was amazing at it. He had like Schneiderlin. He didn't have KDB. You know what I mean? You think about who he had in his midfield. He didn't have the players. And this is what I say to Man United fan. What's going to end up happening? This is my view. We're going to bring in a more progressive manager that's going to play better patterns. People are going to be happy. But we're still going to have the inconsistencies because I don't believe the club are going to consistently buy the right level of player to make it work. We may find ourselves, still winning. I think we'll go back to what we did under the LVG Jose era, where we're going to pick up League Cups and FA Cups and we'll do okay. But when it comes to the absolute top echelon of the game, we're just not quite going to have enough because we won't always buy the right players. It will be, oh yeah, we need player X. We can't get player X, we can get you player Y. But player Y is nothing like player X. Take it or leave it. Like I can still see all those things happening. Prime, just quickly before we leave, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I saw that City game. That assist from De Bruyne was just sublime. Bruno has still been better than him this season though. But
why
would you carry like
why are you starting that fight? Why couldn't you just talk about Kevin De Bruyne, give him his praise and his flowers, and not mention?
No. Again, I just like stoking the fire a little bit, but no, that assist was just quality. De Bruyne actually should have had two. To be fair, in the second half, Aguero probably should have done better there, but City are just going to wrap up and win this league. Also, John Stones and Ruben Diaz, another win. They both score. Laporte on the bench.
You know what I love about you, Prime? You say stuff on here, but I don't know what you're saying.
I know what he's saying. See, Prime's a genius. What he was saying there was, you see how centre-back partnerships are important. On paper, Laporte and Diaz should be the centre-back partnership. But somehow it's Stones and Diaz.
See, this is what you got to do.
Prime? That was your point, right?
Yeah, I've been saying that all along. He's also, can we just go back to the fact that you called me a genius? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what made him frown the most. We have a super chat here from Micah that says Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep, Klopp, top three in that order. Klopp has been there because he and Sir Alex Ferguson only coaches to win both the Premier League and the Champions League at a Premier League club, which Wenger, Jose failed to do. For me, if I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to put my top five Premier League greatest managers, Fergie, Pep, Jose, Klopp, Wenger.
Hold on, did I disconnect? What was that long pause? Was that long pause real, or did I?
No, I was thinking. I was
time froze for a second there. I was like,
listen, guys, we have come to the end of the show. We're back live at 5 o'clock for the another top 6 preview here at the Football Terrace. We're going to be doing the combined 11, Chelsea and Manchester United. I'm really excited to do that as well. Big shout out to Cal.
Time?
Nice. The actual. I actually thought we'd do it this season because it's actually a good debate. If it was City versus Chelsea, there's no point, right? City versus Arsenal, no point. This one is actually quite feisty. The Podfather here says treble in your first season is an overachievement.
No, not when you inherited a squad that you did when Rijkaard was there. No.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
We had one winner for the secret phrases. The winner was Danko that guessed that the man of the match that I gave, I'm just going to take it out of the envelope now, was KDB. That was a secret phrase that was there. KDB was a secret phrase. The other two will go back in the hat for the show later on today. So Danko, you will go into the draw. you will go into the draw now to win the £100 worth of Amazon vouchers next Friday. Everybody that's tuned in today, a massive thank you to you. Join us again at 5 o'clock here on the terrace, and then 9 p.m. tonight, a massive podcast for That United Show. Phil de Brown on the show with, I think Neeks was on there, Cam's on there, KJ's on there, and of course, my guy, our host, Bits and Bobs as well. Until next time, what's this? Terry has an Arsenal agenda. I don't have an Arsenal agenda, bro. I'm not biased. I'm sitting here saying that this City team's nearly better than any other Man United team. I'm sitting here saying, Pep, one sec, bro. I mean, I'm sitting here saying Pep Guardiola can take over my manager as the greatest ever if he continues in this vein. That's the most least biased thing you're ever going to hear. I have a definition for great managers. In your career, you've got to have won back-to-back league titles in a Champions League. I just have that definition in my own mind. Based on that, your manager ain't in it. Equally, if Ollie won a league title every other year for 10 years and lost 4 Champions League finals, I wouldn't call him great. That's it. I'm consistent.
Also, if Arsenal Football Club were not such a laughingstock and your fans weren't such a laughingstock, we wouldn't have an agenda against you.
Listen, stop. No one has an agenda against you. Why would you even say that, Prime? There is no fucking agenda. Listen,
They think I have one anyway. So